Hey everyone, thank you guys again for tuning in. This is Grassroots Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button, be notified for our latest to the greatest episodes, as well as make sure you get in tune, get down and join our Discord where we talk about gaming, stocks, everything in between. I am one of the hosts, Brandon Killabh Hall.
I am Wylson.
And in case you guys haven't noticed, no regular Nas this week. So this is Chris, a.k.a. Chris Bops.
And Chris is finally speaking. Chris is finally speaking.
I know I finally completed the intro.
Finally. Jesus. We're back in person, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, this is a great feeling.
Doesn't it sound good? Doesn't it feel good yet again?
Yeah. It's a little bit messed up that Nas didn't make it, but...
Word, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Where's this guy been?
I don't know.
I'm doing Ramadan with him, though, this year.
Oh, for real? Mm-hmm. Oh, so that's what you hit the chat about when you guys wanted to make me skinny again. I'm trying to gain weight, and you guys want me to do Ramadan.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is my first time doing it. I'm doing it more so for the diet thing.
We did it before.
I never did it.
Yes, we did. 100% we did.
If I did it, I must not have stuck to it.
No, you didn't stick to it. I'm saying,
Yeah. I mean, well, this year I'm sticking to it. Like, him and all his friends are, like, super impressed.
How many days
they said I'm really changing the game. They've been referring to me as Ramadonatello.
No, let me be clear with you. First off, I'm never, ever calling...
That's what Nas and his friends call me.
Well, I'm going to tell them not to call you that because we're not calling you that.
Well, it's already a thing, so.
Yeah, we'll see. How are you guys feeling? I have a confession to make, by the way.
What's the confession?
I'm vaccined up, baby.
Ooh,
well,
both shots?
We knew that was coming.
I'm vaccined up, man.
Which one did you get?
Johnson. Relax. Relax.
Hold on.
All your affairs in order?
Yeah.
Can I first say, for the few people that I told that I got vaccinated, immediately after the Johnson & Johnson news came out that they were putting it on hold, hey, yo, B, I started getting the text messages like, yo, you good?
I was just checking up on you.
Yeah, I'm just checking up. You all right? You know what I mean? You breathing? It wasn't even like discreet. Like, yo, you bleeding or anything? Like, do you have any type of scarring? Like, I'm fine. I'm cool.
Well, the only side effect that they had was blood clots, right?
Yeah,
and it was like six out of like a few million.
Yeah, a few, and they were all women.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm pretty sure it's more than that.
I think so too. But they said 6 women had identified with having blood clots after taking the vaccine, Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Jesus.
So yeah, I mean, for me, but I wasn't scared, yo. If I'm keeping it a buck with you guys, when I originally did it, I did this like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I meant to talk about it last episode, but then obviously everything happened with X, and you know, it was just a heavy
episode.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we never got to talk about it. But I was saying to even like the doctor, it was a conflict just because of how much we've covered on it and just everything. I was like, between my parents and everyone, and then me being asthmatic, it was like, all right, things are getting a little aggressive. So I go and take it, and it wasn't bad. Like, my arm was tingling a little bit. It throbbed. The next day it throbbed. It did throb a little bit. But I was just extremely tired. And I know someone else, my homegirl Tasha, she also took it as well.
And JJ as well?
And she said the exact same thing because I hit her. She posted hers and was like, I took my vaccine. You know, you get a little card and you get a little pendant.
Yeah.
And I saw hers, and I'm like, oh, okay, so how are you feeling? She was like, I feel great. And then the next day, she was like, I'm tired. I was tired the entire week. But I feel great. I'm fine. I'm Johnson & Johnson'd up, baby. I'm in the streets. I'm good.
All right.
I'm chilling. Are you vaccinated up?
No.
Are you planning on getting it?
No.
Okay.
See, my whole entire my biggest problem with the vaccine is, okay, so you just took the vaccine, right? Mm-hmm. But you're young. You're not at risk,
True.
right?
No, well, I am at risk, though. I am. I have asthma. I'm asthmatic.
Okay. So, all right. So you're at risk, but most people that take it, that aren't asthmatic, young, virile, they're taking this vaccine. They're taking this vaccine, right? And the vaccine doesn't have guarantees that you can't catch COVID.
True.
I think the guarantee is that your symptoms are severely less severe.
Well, even if if you're young and virile, you're already you're not going to succumb to the symptoms to the point where you die. So the whole entire point of the vaccine is supposed to be that we're not spreading it as much, and you're protecting your older loved ones.
Correct.
But if you can still get it.
Well, we don't.
But wouldn't it be like a lesser version of like you're not getting 100%?
Do they have proof of that? From what I understand, they can't even technically call this a vaccine allegedly.
They can't, but it still has vaccine type properties that help the antibodies in your body fight off what's happening.
Exactly.
That's literally what it is.
Well, it's supposed to build up your antibodies.
But that's my point. That's what I'm saying. You already have natural antibodies in your body. So that is supposed to.
But here was my question.
Okay.
Before they gave you the vaccine, did they test you for antibodies?
No.
What if you caught COVID, never knew it, and developed antibodies?
It wouldn't matter. I know people that caught COVID and took the vaccine. Well, no, hold on. I know people that caught COVID, have the antibodies, and took the vaccine.
Why would they do that?
Just for protection. Because it doesn't.
Now, look, I'm no scientist. Mm-hmm. This may come as a surprise to many of you.
This is. We're clear on this.
But if you already have the antibodies, why would you take the vaccine?
Because for the same reason of what you've read, where it's unclear on whether or not the antibodies prevent you from getting it again or anything else. The only thing that they say is that the antibodies prevent you from spreading it and so on and so forth.
Now, not to cause a who's on first situation here, but the whole entire point of the vaccine is to help your body develop antibodies.
Correct.
So if you already have them, why would you take a vaccine to do what you already have done?
Because
naturally.
Because the virus has mutated.
Lies.
Okay. All right. All right.
These are lies.
Okay.
They're trying to kill us. Don't do it.
They're trying to kill us. Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Listen, like for
I'm
me,
not knocking anybody that took it though.
Yeah. I feel like you're knocking me, but it's fine.
Is
No,
that people's
not at all.
discretion?
Nah,
I
I'm
feel.
joking.
Is that people's discretion?
That's what I'm saying. Like, but y'all know I was with you. Remember, I was on here.
Yeah. And I remember saying that episode a few months back when we were saying like, all right, we'll wait and see. I think that was like the conclusion everybody came to, is that it's like, hey, we'll wait and see what happens. We'll feel it out, and then eventually we might have to take it.
And that's what I'm saying. I like to travel. I like to do things. It's getting nice out. Like,
wait, speaking of which,
they're already talking about vaccine passports. They're already talking about vaccine driver's license. So I mean, at some point, they're kind of making it where you're gonna have to be vaxxed up in order to just go to ShopRite.
Does any of that scare you guys?
I'm not saying it doesn't scare me.
That does scare me. That's alarming to me.
That's what I'm saying.
This is New World Order type of stuff.
I agree, but what I'm saying is, what can you do? It's like
fight the power.
Oh God! All right, here we go. How can you fight the power? Tell me how. Because
first you start by blowing stuff up.
All right, never mind.
Here at Grassroots, we don't promote violence.
In Grassroots, we do not promote violence or any harm to other human beings around the vaccine or any of the sort. That's what we're not doing. Scott said, we're going to blow everything up. Anarchy is what you're looking for.
Yes.
No, Tone. Jesus. All right, so what are we talking about now?
I was saying, so I'm fully vaccinated, bro. Full disclosure.
Oh, okay.
And, you're vaccinated as well.
Yeah,
that gang, you're mad. You're mad you don't got it.
But I went to an engagement party yesterday, right?
Okay.
And have you guys ever had, like, you go out, whatever, right? But I feel like I'm getting like the small talk questions, like, "Oh, what vaccine do you get?"
Yeah.
Is that strange to you? Like, it's like an icebreaker.
It is,
right?
So it's the new thing. You know how it's almost like
it's invasive.
It's almost like, yo, like how much money do you make? How much money do you make?
Or asking someone who they voted for.
Yep, same thing, same principle. I look at it the same way. Even though I feel like I was saying this, I feel like voting wise and from a presidential standpoint, even that type of for lack
line of questioning.
line of questioning. Yep. It's now becoming normal now, just because everyone is so vocal about who their president is and who their president is not, and what, you know what I'm saying, like what it's looking like. But that doesn't mean that I don't agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I put that up there with sex. I put that up there with religion. I put that up there with your business practice and your wallet. But now I add the vaccine up there too, because even though I was joking early on, a few people legitimately were guilt tripping me, like, fam, how could you do this? You're a corporate puppet. I can't believe you're so much smarter. And I'm like, fam.
How could you get the vaccine? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm like, I have asthma and I have to travel, and we do business with a plethora of people that require us to be safe going into their spaces. So yeah. I have to do what's best for, everyone, including myself and my loved ones. Like, anyone that knows my mom and my parents, like, if you go into my parents' house, my mom is going to say to you, hey, back up. She did it to my little cousin Jahari. She said, hey, back up. You're not vaccinated. Go over there. There's a pile of masks. Go get one. Go wash your hand. Like, my mom is for real. Like, my parents don't play like that. So for me, it's just like, what difference does it make? And I looked at it like, if I took the vac and I died, I went out like a legend. Like a rock star. I did it for y'all.
I don't know, man.
No?
I don't know,
You
man.
seem like that?
Nah, man.
Listen,
I don't know. The whole entire push behind the vaccine is too many nefarious vibes in it. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you watch like Fauci talk, like he'll say, "Oh, once most of the people are vaccinated or whatever, we can start opening this up and doing this, that." And this one guy, I was watching I'm not sure what kind of meeting it was, Congress or something like that. I don't know, but the guy was questioning him. So what level do we have to hit? Give me numbers. Like, where do we have to get to until everything opens back up and the people get their liberties back? He wouldn't answer it because he can't answer it because.
But that's the other thing.
It's all sham.
Remember when we first started speaking about just COVID and the vaccines, it's too many misinformations that were being handed out, right? Like 1 minute you could touch the surface, but if you touch it for 10 seconds, you got that motherfucker. And then after that, it went from that to, no, it doesn't seem to be transmitting on surfaces. You're fine to touch railings and everything. Like,
and not to get political, but a lot of that misinformation came from the left. I saw Bill Maher talking about it. He was stating how there was a study, and basically about 40% of the liberals that they interviewed believe that most people, over 50% of people that catch COVID are hospitalized or have to get hospitalized.
Yeah.
That's just not true.
Yeah.
It's about 5%.
It's 5%.
Maybe.
I was about to say, I thought it was either 3 or 5% that from what I saw. But you know what? That's it's all propaganda when you think about it. It's all just big business propaganda that's way beyond our pay scales, and we'll probably never even understand what's happening just because we're not supposed to. So
I get it. I know what's going on.
All right, so hold
me
on.
and my inner Tyler Durden.
Well, speaking about Tyler Durden, and really has no correlation.
I was wondering how you were gonna spin that. I was like, oh, this guy's nice.
Listen, this is nice. If you're thinking Tyler Durden and Fight Club, we got to go to the recent Fight Club with Jake Paul.
Nice.
Nice.
That was a good.
You know what? Listen. I want to be clear
segue.
on camera. You made me this way, man. You told me never to segue again.
I made you better.
And you know what?
I made you better.
You made me better. That's all. We back. So yes. Let's talk about Jake Paul. What happened with him over the weekend?
So basically, Jake Paul had fought Ben Askren over the weekend. And, I'm sure most of you know, unless you're living under a rock, technical knockout.
Yeah.
First round, it was a good punch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jake Paul went from fighting Nate Robinson. I'm not sure who his first fight was.
It was like another YouTube star.
It was a YouTube star.
It was a YouTube star. Yeah. Okay, he beat that guy. Then they upped it a little bit. They had him fight a professional athlete. At least it's an athlete that you're fighting this time.
Yeah.
Knocks him out cold. Now they had him fight a fighter.
Yeah.
Technical knockout. Yeah. Now, granted, this fighter did not look athletic anymore.
Yeah, did you see his pre-fight warm-ups?
Yeah. Now he did do better than Nate Robinson.
I was about to say he did better than Nate, though. Yeah. He did better than Nate.
Now, but if Nate was had a little bit more skill or exercised a little bit more skill, I think Nate would have did better.
I don't think it was exercise. I think Nate's was just sheer skill, but also adrenaline.
Yeah, he was just running in.
His chin was up. Mm-hmm. He wasn't moved. There was no coy. There was no nothing. Mm-hmm. He was just going to go fight because he was angry and saying, "I'm gonna knock you out." So where Jake was trained, Jake was parrying, Jake was throwing his shoulder. Jake, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what I was getting at is, so he went from YouTuber to professional athlete to an actual fighter, not a boxer. Mm-hmm. Next level, he's got to go to a boxer of some sort.
Nah, he can't. Well, no.
I mean, there's the Mayweather rumors going around right now.
No.
Fam.
Mayweather
jumping
would kill him.
from this to Mayweather, too big of a jump.
I mean, he could do it.
He could. Would that make sense?
But that would be the end of his run.
That would be the end of his run.
Well, I think how much does he weigh?
I don't know.
190.
Is he 190? No, I thought he fought Nate Robinson around like 170.
Whoa, hold on. No, yeah, wait. He came down and wait for Nate Robinson. He came down and he came down and wait for Nate Robinson.
And anyhow you put it, even if Mayweather gives him, the weight advantage, he's still gonna knock this kid out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Who else would you put up against Jake at this point?
I would like to see Jake fight a young boxer who's just about to start their professional career, because that's the same path that he should be on. Because at this point, he's talking too much.
Do you think he should fight the Tank?
Who's the Tank? Oh no! Gervonta Davis would murder him.
The only reason I'm saying that is because they're already talking Floyd. I mean, that's kind of his apprentice, so it's like you got to go through the apprentice.
Well,
to get
Floyd right now would probably lose to Gervonta Davis.
Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
Gervonta Davis is in his prime.
He is in his prime.
How old is Floyd?
Well, no, he probably didn't even reach his prime yet. I think he's like 20-something.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, most boxers reach it around like early 30s.
He's Gervonta is like impressive, son.
He's impressive.
One of my favorite knockouts is the underhand uppercut left hand. Like I ain't never seen somebody come under your glove and catch you but flush
clean.
I've never seen that, especially after taking a few punches across the chin where he then gets you on the ropes, takes two more and goes, all right, boop.
Yeah, that kid's a monster. I think right now he could get Mayweather only because Mayweather's been out the ring. That's the only reason why I think he could take Mayweather.
Mayweather ain't been out the ring though. Mayweather has not been out the ring. Think about it.
Well, in actual fights.
Even still, as long as you've known Mayweather, that's the one thing that where Mayweather's genius prevails is because he's one of those people that is forever training as if he's in a fight. But he epitomizes stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
I agree with you 100%, but then we have to factor in age.
Yeah.
I'm 35 and shit just be popping for no damn reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm rolling.
Like
we said that the other. I said, I went to the gym 3 weeks ago. Rather, the first time I went, I was like, hey, I was sore for a minute.
Yeah. So
body don't feel the same. You get up, knees start cracking. Yeah, man.
But back to Jake Paul. Jake Paul needs to fight an actual
boxer.
Yeah.
It's the only way to legitimize him and continue his run.
Because he keeps on talking like, oh, people don't believe it, like this, that, and other, that, and other.
But this is my thing, though. But this is my thing, right? When you think about Jake Paul, do we not take him serious because of the fighters that he's fought, or do we not take him serious just simply because of the fact that it's Jake Paul, the YouTube star, that is now transitioning into a professional, or looking to, he's doing professional fights, so he's transitioning into being a professional boxer. I don't think that the masses or consumers are taking him serious just because it's Jake Paul and you see the funny videos and all this other stuff.
I don't know. I think that we've crossed that threshold, and now we are taking him serious.
So you feel like we should take him serious?
I take him serious. Mm-hmm. It's time for you to fight an actual boxer.
Yeah, I'm rolling with you. I think after last night's fight, or when you guys hear this recording, but after last night's fight, I need now, especially
he can fight.
Yeah, you're fighting. It wasn't, and you know what I will say, he looked.
He's poised.
Thank you. He looked way more poised than what he did with Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he looked a little bit more poised. You could see where he wasn't throwing crazy like where he was. He was picking the shots. Mm-hmm. But it was a little... The punch, though, for me, landed flush clearly. I don't think that the ref should have counted it out, though. That's my only thing.
Yeah,
I don't think that was a strong enough punch. He was still, he got up, ref said, are you good? He said, yeah. He said, move your gloves. He did it. He said, move side to side. He did it. And when he moved right, he said, no, that's it. And that's when I'm like, huh?
The ref made a good call, but also at the same time, the ref also made a slightly early call. He could have let him take a few more punches to see if he could defend himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he could still defend his head and everything, then let him go. But it was a little too soon for a pay-per-view event. People paid.
But that's my thing. Pay-per-view, fam, especially if you touch my gloves and I'm saying, I'm good, and you see I'm cognitive, why are we stopping this fight?
Yeah, people paid, people trained.
Yeah,
so can we address it? I mean, we got to address the rumors that have been floating around.
Yeah.
I mean, was the fight rigged?
I mean...
I personally don't think so.
All right.
Those punches look real.
The punches look real. But do you think... Did he collect the bag to take the fall? I'm talking about.
I mean, he got up.
You talking about Ben?
Yeah, I'm talking about Ben.
Ben got up and he looked like he was ready to fight.
And that's my only thing. Ben, it didn't. When I first saw it, when I first saw it, my initial reaction was, oh no, he took the bag. Mm-hmm. But then as I watched the fight over and over again, I'm like, oh no, they were throwing. Even when he caught him with the knockout or knockdown, you could see where his body was like, you could see it. You could see
like there was pain there.
Yeah.
There was pain.
There's pain there.
Yeah.
You could see where his body slumped over. You could see when someone is limp, right?
Yeah.
It's when he got up, though. Mm-hmm. He got up. He didn't have that limp. He didn't have that, like, wobbling. Like, you've seen when people have been knocked out, and you could see where, all right, fam, stop it. Like, this ain't gonna... He didn't have that type of body language. Mm-hmm. So the fact that the ref, to Wilson's point, pay-per-view match, one of the biggest fights of the year that people have been looking forward to, momentum building. I just would have liked for him to let it go a little bit, at least to give it a shot. He wouldn't have gotten hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he could have though.
He could have, yeah, but
he went down like a toddler.
But he did, but I know. But think about the ref. Think about the ref's moral practice, right? The fact that he stopped it when Ben was good. I think we could have the ref could have probably used his skill set a little bit more and let it rock out, and then eyeball it to make sure to see whether this fight was healthy for either of these gentlemen, or they should have stopped it. I think at that particular point, I don't think you're stopping it, and I think that to Chris's point, that's why the allegation started of, hey, great fight, but may be rigged.
Yeah, I don't know. The ref did what was good for the fighter. Mm-hmm. But not what was good for the people. That paid. Yeah. We wanted blood.
Yeah. Especially the way he was talking. Yeah. The way both of them were talking, pushing him in his face.
How long do you think the people are going to feed into and buy these money grabs? Because these are clearly money grabs. Yeah, when you look, and it's even more egregious than Mayweather versus McGregor, which people looked at as a money grab. And why are people buying this, that, and other? Mm-hmm. But now we're looking at Jake Paul fight YouTubers. Jake Paul fight retired fighters.
But this is the thing. You talk about Floyd, you talk about all these people. They're prize fighters. These guys have figured out a way, much like basketball players, right? They figured out a way to figure out how the business of their business works. Yeah. And because of that, they've now changed their business practice and or their business model in order to be more profitable for themselves. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't really get mad about it. Like, think about it. You play for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Mm-hmm. Bust your ass for them. Next day you wake up, you turn on TV, Wylson has been traded to the Chicago Bears. Mm-hmm. Chicago Cubs, rather, right? You gave your whole life. You're just a number. You're a fragment, right? What if you could still play for the Kansas City Chiefs, but have your own way and be able to control your narrative? Yeah. That's what these fighters are doing. That's what these ball players are doing. Is they know the business, and now they're actually just utilizing their own skill set for their to get their worth. Yeah. Like, I'm not mad at it, especially like we killed Floyd. As much as I love Floyd, do I want to see Floyd fight in these exhibition matches in fucking Japan for 3 rounds? Fuck no. Mm-hmm. But I'll pay it. Want to know why? Because I'm a Floyd fan.
Me too.
And if I could get a chance to see one of my favorite boxers box, even if it's on some bullshit, just because I love it, I'll pay for it. Same thing with Tyson. I was ecstatic when Tyson started his boxing.
The Triller fight with
Triller fight.
Jones.
Yeah, and now they announced him and Holyfield are supposed to be fighting. Like, I love all of that. Like, I love the nostalgia of it, and I love the fact that we still get to see our legends, because again, it's going to be a time where, like, they'll be the Muhammad Ali's of the world, where they'll have these sicknesses or be whatever, and we won't be able to really get those moments. So me personally, I hold on to them shits.
Yeah.
So as boxing fans, do you think that cheapens the sport? Like, do you think the sport has lost its purity? Because, I mean, think about the biggest young stars with Jake Paul, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. That's an excellent point.
I think that it puts the sport in a tough position. You know what I'm saying?
We have nothing
Because
but like these exhibition fights, we have all these nostalgia fights, and then we have YouTubers fighting each other.
Yeah.
I think it was Pete Davidson.
Pete
who said
Davidson,
it,
Pete
he said
Davidson.
it. He said it last night. It's like, now we don't have real fighters. Now we have. You just need a couple million followers, and you can fight in a main event fight.
yeah, that's scary.
But that's the thing that's scary about it is that
It's the degradation of our society.
it is though. It really think about it.
It's almost like we're devolving.
100%. We're turning it. We've evolved so much that now it's what's the word? What would be what's the adverse of that? Because the reason why I say we have evolved so much from like a technology perspective, like how we consume our news, how we consume just even like vaccine talk, right? Like we consume all of these things to where we're desensitized now. Like we don't really care about the value as long as the entertainment is there, just because now I feel like just the world is based on entertainment. Like think about it. Politics was a fucking melodrama. The vaccine is season 3 of fucking Homeland. Fucking what else? Black Lives Matter protests.
Everything is it's one side or another.
But do you
Yeah.
notice the center part of everything that you just now named? Social media.
Yeah.
Do you think that this monster will ever be slayed?
No.
I feel like social media is the worst thing to happen to
too.
mankind.
I do, but you know what? And that's where me and you align. I know we always butt heads, but I align with you there just because of the
Thank you,
simple fact that I've seen it destroy people.
It's killing people.
I've seen it destroy people. For real. And me being one of the people where I felt like I started to go down a really bad hole.
Yeah.
Like in this content business and trying to, you know what I mean? Y'all know it.
Yeah.
This shit will, if you consume too much of it, like my pop always, it stuck with me. It's something he always says, and his grandfather, well, his dad, my grandfather said that, and he always said, too much of anything will kill you. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
It.
It's a real thing.
You think we'll ever put the tiger back in the cage?
Nah,
With social media?
I think now.
It's
I
too
think
late.
that
It's
yeah.
too
I
too
think
late?
I
It's too
think
late.
that the tigers have already started breeding. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. People legitimately wake up and live their lives on and for social media. You now have personalities. You now have people. You now have people that you probably know and love on a daily basis, just being someone completely different online.
Yeah.
And it's scary because you then start to see these people where they can't decipher whether they're the person online in front of you or really just them in front of you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you get lost in this shit. It's
So
a real
do
thing.
you think that's just our point of view because we're older, and we
No.
we remember a time before social media? Do you think these kids can't even see it?
They can't see it.
They can't see it, right?
No.
Because they don't know anything else.
Yeah,
don't
this,
know-
this
they
is
don't
just their norm.
You got to think about it. These kids are growing up in an internet world. Can you imagine if we grew up like our generation grew up
In
like,
internet world?
Internet world, fam.
Nah.
And I kind of did, and we kind of did somewhat,
But
right?
we had
Not at all.
We had
No, we
dial-up.
didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we did
dial-up.
not.
We couldn't use the phone and the
Fam,
computer.
we
at the same
had
time.
AIM, we had MySpace, and we were the essential of Facebook.
Even
that,
still,
that started it.
Those started it, but those were nothing in comparison.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Because even when MySpace was popping, top 8 friends, all that.
Yeah.
That was the seed. That was the
listen,
seed.
let me be clear.
that was the
you know
seed.
how many beefs started off of that?
Started with the top 8.
But nothing in comparison to social media today. Like
I agree.
social
I
media
agree.
today is something.
Nah, it's something.
It didn't change your life, MySpace.
It did.
I think I could see the effects because I think MySpace was popping when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I could see the effects of people got enough beefs because I put you on my top 3,
Yep.
but I'm only your
top 7 or whatever.
Okay.
And then remember that's when
I was in college.
Yeah, that's when MySpace fucking they said all right because it was such a beef they added more slots for the top.
Or you could hide your top.
Or you could hide the top. Yeah.
Or you could randomize it. There's
it was mad options. Or you can let like specific people see your top. It's just just crazy shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Scary, man.
It is. I talk about it every day, but then I notice that when I talk about it, people just say that I'm angry. So and they just think that I hate social media and I see what you see though. I do. And I know you see it too, Chris.
It's an interesting perspective because we grew up with and without it.
Yeah.
And
I grew up in it message boards, with blogs, forums, like that's our generation. This generation now is very much Instagram, TikTok, social dating apps, fucking, and then just letting you know who they are, who they're fucking, who they're not fucking, what it looks like.
The only reason why I really have a problem though with social media and its effect on society, it's only because it killed all the stuff that was good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're cooking right now.
With like the Me Too movement and everything else. And I'm not saying that's not necessary, but man,
I get what you're saying.
It was so much different. Like even when you go to parties today, people aren't dancing with each other like that. Do you remember when in your early 20s, going to a party, it was like, I cannot wait to roll up on a chick behind her, no consent, and just dance the night away.
That was the thing, though.
If I get deaded, I get deaded.
Fair. But
you do that today,
but the dead,
you're probably getting kicked out the club.
No, you're probably you're probably the cops are being called on you or something, or they're gonna ask, "Where's your mask?" Like it's weird out here. But those were the good old days, man. The good old days used to be where you could be in the spot and and the energy would be cool, right? It wouldn't be no 6 feet, like there wouldn't be a glass between. Shit is weird, yo.
It's weird, man. It's to the point where even like sometimes like you'll see like some people like take like vacations or whatever, and then like they'll like post up like the whole entire vacation. It's like are we in a situation where the tail is wagging the dog at this point?
Yeah.
Like vacations are dope, getting away, but
you're supposed to be on vacation.
Sometimes it seems like people go out just to post their vacation online.
Yeah, it's a Drake bar. Drake said, I know a girl that travels and saves pictures and shit just to post it so she makes it look like she's not at home. I know women like that.
Social media is like a highlight reel, Like you want to show that you've been to all these places, you ate all this food.
I know someone that if you you would think that they are away every weekend and they got a whole stockpile of just fucking pictures of I'm in Florida today. I'm in Las Vegas. No, you're home. Like it's cool. It's okay. You don't have to front. Like, it's cool.
I don't know.
It's a real thing, man. Oh, it burns me up. I hate it. One of these days, y'all say it a lot. One of these days, I'm going to just vanish from fucking social media, yo. Yeah. And I don't know if I don't foresee that.
As long as you're doing a podcast, it's not happening, buddy.
As long as we have this, I don't foresee that happening.
Like, so going off of this talk of social media. So, I mean, this past weekend we got Dogecoin and crypto just went.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that.
This is all because of Elon Musk's tweet. He just said dog on the moon, and that thing shot up like 9,000% since like the start of this year.
Yeah.
Is it crazy that one person has all that power to he can increase or decrease the value of whatever he wants with a tweet?
If I'm being honest, a lot of them, the Elon Musks of the world, if you're paying attention, they test that market by saying shit like that. They test their power by doing that. He did it two weeks ago or 2 months ago. What was the shit that he said? He just mentioned Bitcoin, mentioned it. Shot up. Same thing with this Dogecoin. He did it with the other one. What was the other big stock that was supposed to be a real fucking cash cow that amounted into nothing? Like you gotta pay attention to that shit. You really, really have to, because a lot of times these people like Elon Musk of the world, they'll drive up their stocks that they're vested in, that they know will be profitable for them. You gotta be careful with it. I can't think of the stock. I watched the stock. I'll share it with y'all, but it's another stock that Elon did prior to this one. It's also that same stock that he talked about is what got him on Clubhouse and where he did that whole thing. But you just gotta pay attention. Yeah. A lot of these people up there in the big business, they have those relationships. They have different relationships where they have vested interests and they're able to drive up a product or a company. So if I'm Jordan, no, I'll give you a better example. If I'm Kanye, because this is the most relevant one I can think of.
Because he would tweet.
Huh?
Because he would tweet.
Because he would tweet, right?
Yeah.
If I'm Kanye and I'm working with Adidas, yeah, I'm gonna start to tweet some things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start to say some things prior to. Do you remember when he started to hint at Adidas?
Yeah.
Lines started coming out. He started in his interview saying, "Yo, man, I would love to work with Adidas." He was already working with Adidas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just talking high level to, and this is for content creators too. Like, just be mindful of that. Sometimes people say things just because they want you to actually jump on board, not because that there's any value there, but because there's something else in it for them. You got to be able to weed through. Like, if you're paying attention to Elon, and especially all of those stocks that he mentions, just pay attention to how, like, the big players of the game, like if you watch like Jim Cramer on Mad Dog, on Mad Money rather.
See the guy that yells?
Yeah, he's a rating.
Yo, he's a genius though. And my brother put me on to him. His whole business model is geared towards us.
Yeah.
It's him explaining what the Elons of the Musk of the world do, where they do this little shit where it's like, oh, this is the next stock that's coming out. You don't want to miss it. He goes on there and says, hey, yo, check this out, fam. That's not it. Look at their metrics. Look at what they've done. Look at what they're forecasted to look like. Look at what their revenue, like he breaks it down to where it debunks all of what they say. You just got to pay attention to it.
So let me ask you guys this. Are Beanie Babies worth anything today?
No.
Not, they could be. They could be.
If they decide to boom up.
Are they still worth stuff?
Listen. Let me be clear with you. Those antique, like Teddy Ruxpin, comic books.
Pokemon cards?
Pokemon cards, Upper Deck cards.
Well, the reason...
what else? No, keep going. Even as simple as Power Rangers. Do you know how much money Power Rangers are worth? Like the original,
like the figurines?
Like the figurines and that original series by
Was it
Bandai?
Yeah, Bandai.
Bandai?
Well, the reason why I'm asking that is because with like Bitcoin and everything else, like I'm kind of getting... Well, I thought exactly. Like everybody's always looking for the new gold rush. I'm pretty sure that, there's probably some still worth some money.
Let me see.
That's worth a lot.
Bring that phone.
But that guy has that Beanie Baby. Who's buying this $600,000 Beanie Baby? So technically, it's worthless. You know what I'm saying? Technically. So you have all these worthless Beanie Babies. People probably have thousands of them sitting in their crib. You know what I'm saying? And now they're worthless. I'm kind of getting the same vibe with Bitcoin. Now, I don't know much about Bitcoin, but what if this thing, what if this whole entire fantasy never comes to fruition where that electronic coin is actually worth what it's supposed to be?
That's a good question.
People are going to be left with millions of Bitcoins.
Well, all right. How it was explained to me is it's digital currency. So while there is, you can't just go in and get that money. Yeah. It will be a new, based off of financial trends, it will be the new way finances are conducted.
So I'm a novice. Okay. Isn't your actual money already electronic money?
So I'll take
this because once you put it into the bank, it's just on your card. So basically Bitcoin is a bet. You're betting on the actual dollar to collapse and go away.
I wouldn't say bet. Bet is the wrong word. Because I said that's
technically what you're doing, though.
It's not. What they do is when they put it... Well, go ahead, Chris.
So I'll take it a step further from your explanation. So you got to think about it like you got to think about cryptocurrency as sort of like a commodity, like gold or silver. And how this works is that it's treated as a vehicle of like it's inflation. Anti-inflation. So they're betting that like if the value of the dollar goes down, this will hold its value.
Now before you go further, how is it anti-inflation?
Because it's not. I mean, because the dollar is affected by inflation. Like every year, like the dollar rises and drops.
But inflation comes from perception.
Explain.
So inflation is basically when the price goes up on something, right? So wouldn't inflation be your Bitcoins? 30 Bitcoins could buy you a laptop today. But what if whoever's selling the laptop goes, I want 50 Bitcoins for this laptop? That's inflation.
But there's only a set amount of Bitcoins. Like there's an X amount, and there's 21 million Bitcoins out there, and that's always gonna be a set number. Like that's all that's ever going to be out there.
What's to stop them from increasing that?
That I don't know. There's a whole history to it. There's
a history to it, but on top,
Hold on, see if you have a.
Hold on.
Hand him a mic.
How about hand him his mic? Hold on.
So there's a thing called blockchain technology. So it is like hospitals use it and things like that. It's a completely electronic record of everything. And it keeps track of every single transaction. It can't be faked, it can't be duplicated.
Mm-hmm.
So everything, like Chris was saying, like with those 21 million Bitcoin,
Yeah.
that's it, that's the set amount. And every transaction is using just those 21 million Bitcoin. It's tracked thoroughly, and it can't be penetrated, can't be duplicated, anything like that.
Okay. All right. So you also compared the fact that it's anti-inflation is how you compared it to gold
Because there's only a set amount of gold in the world.
that we know of.
Or that we have access to.
Because gold is natural.
Yeah.
So, and how you put it, gold is valuable because you can actually do things with gold. You can actually.
Remember, for every dollar,
Yeah.
every US dollar, there's a representative of that in Fort Knox. So those gold bars that you hear about and the US Mint and all of that stuff, our dollars are compared to gold.
Yeah.
So even if there's a set number of gold in the world, we still have to take into account that every dollar that we spend in US currency is equivalent to a piece of or a shard of that amount of gold.
Exactly. See now, but the reason why that gold is so important is because it works like the Mandalorian. So, no, you guys watch The Mandalorian.
Nah, I'm not caught up.
Okay,
I haven't seen
so you didn't watch The Mandalorian?
I watch, but I get what you're saying.
So the way how you pay these assassins is with this silver or this special metal of whatever.
It's scrap metal.
Yeah, then they take that metal and they can form
And
some
they
powerful
form, yeah.
Same thing with gold.
Yeah.
If the money goes down and this world turns into Armageddon and I have gold bars, I can form an axe
You have the
and
cash
protect
now.
myself.
Yeah.
I can kill you with it. Bitcoin, there's nothing. Once the perception is done on it,
Yeah, you've invested
It's
all your
gone.
money into it, and you don't even know that it's some
it's
physical. I get what you're
worthless. You
saying.
can't do anything
I
with
get
it.
what
It's
you're
not an actual thing.
At least not now.
There's no way to make it. It's not tangible.
We don't know that yet, though.
Gold it. We do know.
So, but the thing is, like, I feel like these large institutions are all going into Bitcoin right now. Like, PayPal just signed like a deal where you can start sending and transacting with Bitcoin. Like, you can
Yeah.
almost use it as currency. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm bullish on it because all these giant institutions are in on it. And
So-
I
Yeah.
feel like there's infrastructure being set up for it.
So what's the plan for actual money to go away or to collapse?
I mean, like I said, like it's. I feel like it's just a vehicle of like it's. You want to diversify your portfolio. Like if you want to diversify your.
I hear that. That sounds great. But in order for something to be valuable, they have to have a time frame of when actual money is no longer going to be worth anything or gone. Because until then, the Bitcoin it doesn't make any sense. So people are rushing to put money into Bitcoin and everything. You're buying all this electronic money. You can't use it, or you can use it, but it's like, what are you gonna like? You using it, you're probably losing money on whatever you would purchase.
On whatever
with
you're
it.
purchasing.
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
Maybe. I got to think about that.
What if Bitcoin's value?
Hold on, give him a mic.
Well,
My question is, what if Bitcoin's value doesn't come from the actual representation of something? What if it comes from the value of all the money that's been put into it from all over the world? Because you can use euro to buy Bitcoin, you can use anything to buy Bitcoin. So what if its value actually comes from the fact that we're taking our money and putting it into it and giving it value?
yeah, but then what he's saying is we then lose it because we take something physical and putting
If
it.
it zeros, but
listen,
it can never zero.
Well, how much is one Bitcoin?
Right now,
60 grand or something, 70 grand.
It costs you 60 grand for one Bitcoin. Perfect. Can you take one Bitcoin and buy a $20,000 Toyota?
you can buy a Tesla with it.
With 1 Bitcoin.
Yes.
1 Bitcoin, you could buy a Tesla.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how much is the Tesla if you were to use just the 60 grand?
$73,000.
So the Bitcoin is worth more for Tesla. Okay. In that circumstance, it does make sense.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy Teslas, buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, buy Bitcoin.
Well,
You'll save some money.
Yeah.
So basically, Bitcoin is a coupon.
it's a form of currency. It's a form of currency.
I just want to say too,
Yeah.
what's also going to drive up the price is how much it's used and like how normally it's exchanged. So
Yeah.
Once like more and more people start to accept it, obviously Elon Musk put 1.5 billion into Bitcoin, but once it starts getting accepted by like major banks and other retailers, the price of it is going to go up too. So a lot of people are speculating that by 2026 it's going to hit like $1 million because it's just going to be regularly traded. As much as everyday fiat money.
So then Bitcoin is going to cost is going to be worth more than another form of electronic currency? Because if there's only 21 million and they're never going to make more,
That just means
so people are going to get killed over this. People are going to get murdered.
Essentially.
It could. Yeah.
Essentially.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't rule anything out.
People are going to get murdered.
100%.
Because
When you
if I
make-
have NutriBucks and you have Bitcoin and my NutriBucks are nowhere near your Bitcoin,
Yeah, I want yours.
yeah,
Yeah.
taking that Bitcoin, buddy.
That's what it is.
I don't think it's going to flesh out. I think a lot of people are going to lose money.
I mean, there's arguments for both, and I can understand the arguments for both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Robot's going to come along and ruin that electronic currency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think we'd be remiss first before continuing the show towards the end to not mention Black Rob, right?
Yeah.
So over the last weekend, I should say, upon DMX Earl Simmons passing, Black Rob was also a video surfaced of him being in the hospital, being extremely sick, suffering from some sort of stomach pains or some sort of illness, I'll say. 2 days ago or a day ago, he was put back into the hospital for those same pains. He was released maybe like 2 days after the video had surfaced. And then 2 days after that, he was put right back into the hospital complaining of those same stomach pains that he had. He then passed the day after that. So we want to obviously pay respect to Black Rob. I know that most people don't really look at him as a legend, but I think it's fair to say that he was a legend in our era. Like what he did for hip hop at that time and who he was as a person, like, you know what I mean? I think he just, I wonder what happened too, because it's not clear on how he passed. It was just the stomach issues and complaining of massive pain.
Yeah.
So
I think he was homeless too, right?
yeah, I mean,
Allegedly.
I know after the Bad Boy run, that was like the Bad Boy for Life
Reunion.
Yeah, thank you. I know he had fell on hard times. I feel like a lot of them went through shit. Like Loon went to jail. G-Dep admitted to murder that took place like 12 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Black Rob was sick, and then video surfaced of him being homeless, which I actually bumped into him in Jersey City. This was years ago. I think it was like Duncan Projects. He was just there, like it was a few other people there, but and then there was somebody else. Oh, and obviously Mace goes to go start doing sermons and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But he was the only one next to Loon, and then there was Shine too. Mm-hmm. But he was the only one that was next to Loon that I felt like were like the core of when Bad Boy tried to, refresh the brand. You know what I mean? Like there were fresh faces. There was, think about it, during that era, I can tell you that their whole lineup.
Real quick, you running down those names and thinking about how their lives just changed so dramatically. I don't think any other rap crew.
Yeah, I think that was about to be my question. I mean, excuse my ignorance because I'm not too familiar with Black Rob. I only know Whoa, but like
that's all you need to know right there. that song's a classic.
But I was about to say is like how would you compare? Is there a current roster in this generation that you can compare that Bad Boy generation to?
Nah, man.
Well, I mean,
it was different.
Unfortunately, aside from Mace, all of their careers were pretty much short-lived. Even Mace's too.
No way.
If we really look at in
No way.
comparison to like Eminem,
No.
his career was short as a rapper.
But Mace is still put up there with M, with legends and history and artists. Yes, he is, 100%.
Maybe not all the way up there with M,
I'm
but
not saying. I'm not
he's on
saying.
the
I'm
list.
not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's on the list. When you think, if you think,
He's a legend.
but he's a lyricist too.
He's also a lyricist, but there's a certain tier.
There is a certain tier. We know. Come on, we know the tier. We know the tier.
Mace doesn't get into that tier.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Okay, he's not in the
by any-
Eminem tier.
No.
Very few.
But I see what you're saying as far as being a legend.
That's all I'm saying.
He'll forever be remembered.
That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he's on the list. He's on the
He's
list.
on the
Okay,
list.
okay.
Am I saying he's on the upper echelon? Mount
Okay.
Rushmore?
I thought that's where you were putting him.
Yo,
I was like,
y'all
whoa.
gotta respect me a little bit more than this, man. Like, honestly, do you really think I'm putting Mace up there on Mount Rushmore? And I love, like, Harlem World, right? Do you really think? I'm not saying that. I'm saying the Mount Rushmores of people are like the M's, the Hoves, the Nas's of the world. I'm also saying, though, at some point, you gotta mention Mace. Mace changes the game. Mace and Puff, I'll say, changed the game because that tandem for quite some time. I look at it like this, and this is how I measure impact. This is how I measure impact on that level with artists. The moment
I'm
you're
gonna give you some pushback here, but go ahead.
I doubt you will. I doubt you will.
Gonna give you some pushback.
I doubt you
I
will.
wanna hear this. I wanna
I
hear
doubt
this.
you will. And
Go on.
I'm gonna prove my point. I'm gonna prove my point. I base impact from an artist when you make me change what I'm wearing. That's impact. You Kanye'd out. In 98, everyone I knew wore Cybertech, shiny suits, Air Force Ones, all black, headbands, wristbands, and what was the other thing that Puff and all of them had on? The baseball gloves and the baseball gloves.
Okay.
When you do that, think about it. It's very few people that can get that. M has never been able to get people to do that. Hove has gotten people to do that.
Hold on.
Big, Kanye.
I'll give you this.
Of course, Dipset.
I'll give you this. He had impact. He had impact.
Yeah.
He had impact. But you said change the game. Now, when I say a rapper changed the game, I base that on how many kids do you have?
What?
How many people rap like you? Those are your children.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Those are your children.
okay.
Now, when we talk about game changers, we have Eminem, we have Kanye West, we have Jay-Z, we have Drake, we have Future. There's people that rap like them. Travis Scott. I ain't never heard nobody rap like Mace or impersonate Mace.
Oh, you're bugging.
No,
You're
no,
bugging.
no,
You're
no,
bugging.
no, no.
You're bugging.
Fab?
Who's impersonating Mace?
Pushed it. And Push does a really, really good impression of Mace. There's a few people that have rapped like Mace. And a lot of people will go on record and say, yo, I got my style from Mace, specifically Murder Mace. I'll bet money on that.
I thought Fab sounded a lot like Mace.
Fam, I haven't even gone into that catalog of people. Listen, if
Now, when we say rap like, we're talking about flow.
I'm talking about listen, go Google it. There's a
You
record.
guys think they sound like Mace? Okay.
There's a record right now with Push. He sounds exactly like Mace. It's on his album.
But he did that on purpose, though.
But he said that because he wanted to pay homage. He said Mace is one of those people.
Yeah, but how he normally raps is nothing like Mace.
I'm not saying that. But
So he's not one of the children.
But no, what he's saying is he wanted to be like Mace at one point.
Oh, no, he was
talks
influenced by...
about that.
I'm not saying Mace didn't inspire nobody.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have kids. He doesn't have children.
Mace 100% has children. You're wilding right now.
He doesn't have children like those other rappers.
You're wilding, kid. You're wilding. Mace was the first, pretty boy. Mace was the first one that was comfortable to walk out and be like, yo, I'm pretty next to Fab.
Was he?
The only people that was doing it was Fab and him at that time. The only the addition that came in after the fact.
Slick Rick the Ruler was the first.
That's
boy,
different, though. That's different. Like,
okay.
That's
okay.
Like Slick Rick again. is the person that you call to do the Barclays, and Ghostface says, "Yo, can I borrow your change for my performance?" That's impact. You know what I mean? Like, you know, as soon as he stepped out.
Now look, I'm not taking nothing away from Murder Mace. Mm-hmm. But if we're talking about game changers, that's why I got to give a little pushback.
Damn, you're crazy.
I look at changing the game as a serious thing.
Yo, bad. That era, that change. Yo, that era of music, Mace and Puff changed hip hop with that.
Okay.
That video where they're in that square shit, and you just see them like this. Fam, for the next 3 summers, I watched people walk down the street in nothing but Cybertech fucking windbreakers and yellows and Air Force Ones with backwards hats with headbands over them, because Puff had that on the fucking video, with glasses on, and they were walking down the Ave with it. Like,
I think they had a run, but when I look at like game changers, I'm looking at like 50 Cent, because you hear the music change.
Now hold on, this is the difference. I see what you're saying, but what you're saying and what I'm saying is different. What I'm saying is,
he had an impact.
No. I'm still talking impact with Mace. What you're talking about is a shift. That's two different things.
Okay.
Impact is meaning, like, again, if a Mace song come on right now, you're gonna sing it, and you're gonna know the lyrics, and it's gonna still make you feel good, right?
That's true.
What you're talking about with 50 is a wave coming in and changing everything.
But then, do you remember how many children he had?
But that's my point. Now here's the thing. 50's era comes in. He pretty much muscles out all of the pretty boys. He gets all of the pretty boys out and says, "Yo, it's about robbing, and it's about sticking everybody up. I don't like nobody. None of us should be friends." He breaks up the fun zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think we're in agreement.
We're in agreement. We're in agreement.
Just not on the term.
Yeah, would it be fair to say that you would say Mace ran it for a few years?
Yes.
And then 50 just shifted the whole culture?
Yeah. But hold on. Who came after Mace, though? Because there was a period in time where there was no one. Do you remember that? Like, everyone was down. X was out of town.
I would say it's 50, right?
Nah. Mace left way before 50.
Yeah, way before 50. There was a gap before 50. I'm trying to think of it.
It'd be like X for a few years.
It would be X, Nelly maybe.
Yeah, Nelly. I maybe you get a little bit of Rise of South, because I think when did Ludacris start?
Luda.
Yeah.
Luda. I forgot about Luda.
Well, Nelly ushered in the whole entire sing-songy phase.
Yeah. No, well, technically Ja did. Ja did that.
Nah, I'll give him more than Nelly.
Hold on, let's think about this.
Because Ja Rule didn't have a singy rap flow.
Oh, yes, he did. What are you talking about? Baby girl, put it on, man.
Courses.
What I mean without
Courses.
you. But that ushered in.
But I'm talking about rapping in a melodic
When he
flow.
started doing that, that was the exact reason how
Ja doesn't have any raps where he's rapping like sing-songy.
I know, but what I'm saying is him being a melodic hook gangster
artist.
Yes,
he did that.
50 then doing that and taking it, but then making rapidy songs about singing. Like,
he did that. Ja Rule opened up the door for 50 and sing-songy choruses from hardcore rappers. What Nelly did, I believe Nelly opened up the door for like a Future to give us March Madness and stuff like that. I'm saying flowing throughout the whole entire
Throughout the whole song.
where it's almost not even rap.
Got it.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
I get
what you're saying.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
get what you're saying.
But as far as
All
choruses, I'll give that to you with Ja Rule.
Yeah. No,
Ja Rule opened up the door for it.
I get what you're saying.
Wow, did we just come to an agreement?
Yo, we're about to end the show, and we came to an agreement, man.
It happened.
That was cordial.
Listen,
I'm impressed.
It's what the pandemic does.
I was about to say, the pandemic brings us together, people.
With what?
All right, we're not. Nope. No, but Nate, hold on.
Nate Dogg was never a rapper.
He was a pure singer.
Nate Dogg was never a rapper.
Hold on, whoa. What I'll say about Nate Dogg is, again, that is a whole nother generation. I put Nate in there with like Snoop's generation, with Warren G, with like that's a whole nother genre. Like Nate is more of an architect. Like, there's no Sleepy Hollow if there's no Nate. You know what I'm saying? There's a few other artists that I can name that you don't probably get that chance unless Nate Dogg was on your record. So that's what I'm saying. That's all. And we can have that. That'd be a great conversation. We can have that conversation. But to the fans and viewership, let us know what you guys think. What do you think about all the topics that we talked about today? And even the Mace topic, because we obviously all want to know about that. Who do you think ushered in? What would you categorize as a game changer or a momentum shifter, or even to Wilson's point, someone that legitimately has created sons in this world musically, or seeds. So let us know what you guys think in the comments, and be sure to reach out. I want to thank you guys for joining us as always. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button, be notified for our latest to the greatest episodes, as well as make sure, as always, to get in tune, get down and join our Discord where we talk about stocks, gaming, culture, everything in between. We also hope that you guys liked our little stock takes this week. I think we had a great conversation. I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, it was good,
I
man.
wish Nas was here, man.
Yeah.
Maybe
back,
next
Nas.
week.
Next week. With that said, I'm Brandon Killabh Hall.
I'm Wilson.
And I'm Chris. Hey, Siv, cut it out. Cut it off.
Peace.
Grassroots.